Why do we even live? Philosophers have been agonizing over this question for centuries. Novelists have wrestled with it. And modern humans? Well, we stare at our grocery receipt and quietly despaired, hopeless. Take a young person opening Ikigami, for example, a manga that forces its characters to confront life in the most extreme way. Suddenly, they are told that their lifespan is limited, their days numbered. It's a brutal wake-up call, compressed into a narrative that might be best described as a survival game with bonus points for existential dread. Life. The manga insists it's not just a series of routine mornings and coffee runs, it is an unending sequence of choices. And each choice, no matter how small, shapes the meaning of your existence. Thankfully, most of us spared such dramatic trials in real life. Yet, ironically, we are confronted by others. Subtler, dedicated cruelties. The price of gasoline keeps climbing. Rice costs more than it should. And every trip to the supermarket feels like a mini combat operation. These modern inconveniences, in their own petty way, force us to think about life. Or at least they make it impossible to stop thinking about the next bill. The finiteness, limitation, bond, restrictedness of life gives value not to its length but its manner of living. Apparently, only when we are forced to face a literal countdown to our death do we finally notice the meanings behind our actions. For those of us who usually spend our time agonizing over whether to have beef balls or curry for lunch, or whether to watch cat videos or dog videos on our phones, such extremely is almost desirable and viable. At the very least, it's probably more exciting, exhilarating to slash cut through the manga world in a life or death scenarios than to watch your bank account dwindled while staring at a gas pump. Of course, humans are not solitary creatures. In Ikigami, the characters find the significance of life in their connection to others. Solitude, isolation is terrifying. Yes, but human connection, family, friends, even society at large is full of peculiar, amusing complexities. Facing death, they discover the importance of empathy, compassion, and sympathy, of reaching out, of realizing that someone else's life matters to theirs. Ironically, we only truly appreciated others when confronted with our own fragilities, weakness, or perhaps when the gas price spikes and we see a fellow drivers graciously letting us merge in traffic, and we think, ah, this is what living is. And then there's the wider world where individual life meets global chaos. The tangles, geopolitics of Israel, the US, and Iran over oil, and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine ripple directly into our daily lives. Surging gasoline prices are not just the headlines, they are a stark, harsh reminder of the real life survival choices we are all forced to make. The extremes depicted in manga feels weirdly, spookily, eerily similar, except this time the stakes are set by supermarket price tags rather than plot twists. Life, it turns out, is deeply ironic. We are constantly negotiating a world that is absurdly unfair. Yet, we must keep making small, sometimes pain-free, mundane choices just to keep moving forward.
Wanna clear a bottle of Cabernet. Wanna stay home, not even drink. Wanna get out of my own head. Wanna lay down, overthink. I wanna cry every tear I got. Put on a dress, be a stranger's dream. Lock up this heart of mine, wanna wear it on my sleeve. I kinda wanna hate you, but I wanna love you too. I wanna hold you close and let you go. Find someone new, and I wish it wasn't, but my mind's made up in two. What's killing me the most is knowing two things can be true. Wanna throw away your vanity. Wanna wear it to sleep tonight. Wanna wipe our slate clean. Wanna pick this thing up right where we left off. Wanna block your number, take one last time, make it another. Wish I was one or the other. I kinda wanna hate you, but I wanna love you too. I wanna hold you close and let you go. Find someone new, and I wish it wasn't, but my mind's made up in two. What's killing me the most is knowing two things can be true. If it's black, it's white. If it's wrong, it's right. Soon as I pick one, I switch sides. I kinda wanna hate you, but I wanna love you too. I wanna hold you close and let you go. Find someone new, and I wish it wasn't, but my mind's made up in two. What's killing me the most is knowing two things can be true. Two things can be true. Two things can be true.
Nature thankfully offers a reprieve derived from this relentless absurdity. Consider Mount Fuji. Its immense presence makes our pretty worries and fleeting brief lives feel tiny. Yet, at the same time, the value of the climb, the process, the steps, the absolute sheer act of putting one foot in front of the other becomes clear. Life, like mountains, is not just about reaching the peak, it's about what each step along the way teaches you. And mountains, mercifully, kindly, compassionately, does not complain. It does not point out your flaws, faults, or whispers about your limited time. It simply exists, reminding you that just being alive has inherent worth.
No matter how hard I try, I'm all washes the day away. Nothing to show and no place to go. So here in my room I stay. I don't know that I could forget you, no matter how hard I try. I'm all alone, and honestly I cannot believe all the tears that I've cried. I'm all alone, and honestly I don't know why. Once in a while I dream. Once in a while I think of you. I reminisce on days gone by when you and I were new. Once in a while I dream, hoping that you'd return to me. But I know that you're not coming back, so once in a while I dream. Each moment passes like hours. Each day is dark as the night.
Even amidst measures extremes, war, global tensions, and skyrocketing prices, small joys matter. Collecting a cute figurines or plush toys might seem trivial, almost laughably, comically insignificant, but these tiny pleasures stabilize us. They give psychological comfort, sprinkle daily life with joy, and softens the weight of otherwise unbearable insufferable realities, politics, war, death. The characters in Ikigami cling to these little sources of comfort too. Life may be catastrophic, but somehow the act of finding solace, comfort, relief, consolation, and a small, adorable, the absurdly comforting is one of its most honest truths.
But now it's over. So once in a while I dream. Pardon my plea.
Ultimately, life's meanings is never simple. It is shaped by the choices we make within our limited time, the relationships we cultivated, the extreme moments, the forced reflection, the awe, wonder, amaze, reverence, inspiring the presence of nature. And yes, even the small, silly joys we cling, hold on to amidst chaos. The world is ironic. The news, merciless, cruel, price keep climbing, gasoline is always too expensive. Yet, we look up at Mount Fuji, run up our tiny collectible figures, acknowledge the limits of our mortality, death rate, and keep choosing to live one messy, contradictory, beautiful day at a time. if we must be honest, life is absurd. The world is chaotic, and gas prices are horrifying, terrifying, shocking, frightening, but at least cute things exist, and that is reason enough to keep going. And so, despite everything, I choose to live today because really, what choice do we have?
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO, babe. I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79 and make a little island right here. And there ain't a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender, baby. Slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it. 'Cause paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it. Till the sun's up Monday, we'll tell our phones, do not disturb. I got my straw hat, babe. And you can finally pull the tags on your Tommy Bahama shirt. Blue crush up on the 85-inch sound machine. When we wanna hear the ocean, I think everything we need is right here. And there ain't a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender, baby. Slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it. 'Cause paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it. Oh, this view of you, it's got everything I need. Yeah, the rooms, they're cheap. And if we don't want to, we don't ever, ever, ever have to leave. Yeah, there might not be a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender, baby. Slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it. 'Cause paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it. AC to 79. Paradise is wherever we make it.
In the morning, I wake up feeling no pain. Long stretches, I get to remembering. Then I see my bed is empty on one side. Back in the sheet, only place I can hide. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. myself. I may never make it out. In the morning, I'm wondering how I'm gonna get through the night. Sick and weary, only your love's gonna make it right. Yeah, only your love, only your love. Only your love, only your love. Just a little